up against her offense, defense constantly in practice. Coach, what is the rest of Team USA learning about how to better utilize and better get Abby the ball?
Well, they need possession. If they get possession, Abby won't have to come so deep to get the ball. She'll get the ball where the U.S. wants her to get the ball, and that's in front of goal. Here we look at Nigeria. If we take a look at the back defense of the U.S., we get a little bit of possession here, and they need to prepare the ball. So Christine Rampone makes a great decision. She sees the flow of the Nigeria defenders. She steps on the ball. She plays back and changes the point through Kat Whitehill. It gets over to Lopez, and all this does is create a little bit of space for the attacking players of the United States. Christine Lilly gets the ball, but she's going to be looking for Abby Wambach in the center. She beats her player down the flank. She looks up. Wambach is there, and she gets a good look at the goal. This was a 7 or 8 pass sequence. Here's their only other 7 or 8 pass sequence. Again, a good touch by Christine Lilly. She gets the ball from Abby Wambach. Now Abby heads for the goal. O'Reilly plays it back to Lilly, Lilly to Wambach, and again, a great heading opportunity, great save. She will score goals if she gets these looks. Here, defensively, the back four of the U.S. are too deep. There's nobody to play back there. By them staying that far back, it allows penetration, possession by Nigeria in this case. England will know what to do with that penetration better than Nigeria. Here we take a look at Nigeria attacking down the left flank of the USA. They create a mismatch, a little 1-2 around Lopez, and again, the Nigerian flank players with speed and the England flank players with speed, Carney, Aluko, Yankee, are similar. The English will do more with that opportunity. Now, Nigeria changing the point. O'Reilly gets caught central here. She needs to be out in that flank. In the 4-3-3, she's responsible for that flank. The ball gets brought down. This player shoots, but look at how open her wide option is. Again, England will make better decisions, and remember, they have a Kelly Smith to play into. The ball comes out down the right flank. Whitehill needs to be on the other shoulder. Box needs to be making a beeline back to the center of defense. By Whitehill being on the inside shoulder allows possession. She doesn't have the speed to stay with these flank players. A near goal, there was other options. The U.S. has to be cleaner defensively. They can do that with organization. They also need to keep the ball better. It'll get them more opportunities on the attack.
Have some water. That was a lot of talking.
Wow, that was a lot.
Catch your breath, and we'll catch you in right now with U.S. head coach Greg Ryan. Jaime Moto caught up with him as the U.S. continues their preps for England at the top of the hour.
Coach, what changes for you now that you've reached the knockout stage?
Nothing changes. Tough games. Every game's been tough so far. Another tough one tonight, but I think we've got the talent and the spirit within this team to pull it out.
How do you defend Kelly Smith? Do you mark her one-on-one?
Well, you have to stop her as a team. You've got to close down space, keep the space around her tight. We'll have Leslie Osborne paying attention to her, trying to make life difficult for her like she did against Svensson from Sweden. But it's going to be a team effort.
What do you do to get continuity between the midfield and the forwards, which has been a problem?
Well, we've got a little bit different alignment. Leslie and Boxy are good possession players. Choop's a good runner into the attack, and so hopefully we'll just have a little bit better chemistry tonight. But at the end of the day, it's all about just taking care of the ball, connecting your passes, and getting chemistry through that.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Coach looks like he's got a little nerves there. I don't know if he was playing his Pink Floyd on his guitar as much as he was supposed to this morning. The key point there is team defending on Kelly Smith with Leslie Osborne keeping an eye on her. Do you like that, Heather?
Yeah, I think Leslie obviously plays great defense, and I think that's a good matchup between Kelly Smith. She's very physical out there in the field, and I think if you take Kelly Smith out of the equation, the U.S. is going to come away with a successful game today.
Heather, do you think that they'll man mark? I mean, Coach Ryan may have been keeping it a little close to the vest here. Do you think they'll man mark Kelly Smith?
I think they should, just because last time we did do that, we were successful. So it makes sense, and I think that Leslie Osborne will be a good matchup with Kelly. She's very physical. Take Kelly out of her game, and England's always looking to Kelly to do things, and if you take her out, then I think the U.S. can finally play their game and will be successful.
All right, again, the U.S. has never failed to reach the semifinals of a Women's World Cup. Will that trend continue today as they take on England? Speak about England, that player comes to mind. Kelly Smith, who has just been hammered by injuries through her career. For 4 consecutive years, beginning in 2001, something in her right leg broke down: an ankle, a knee, a fibula, and in 2004, a stress fracture on her left foot as well. She has been battling injuries for majority of her career. Now, Kelly Smith debuted for England at the precocious age of 17, yet it took her roughly the next 11.5 years to make her debut in Women's World Cup play, and what a debut it has been for the young lady from Watford.
I have had a torrid couple of years. It was a roller coaster ride of emotions, a lot of depression, because I'd come back from a 6-month injury and play a couple of games and then be out for another 4 or 5 months with another knee injury. So it wasn't a good time for me in my life, but I've learnt a lot from that and moved forward. A lot of friends and family have helped me out through my hard times. They've been there for support, counselling, been in sessions talking about various stuff that's been going on in my life and my injuries, and that's helped me become more of a complete person. And now when I play, I'm happy and I play with a smile on my face, and I try and bring, you know, a lot of passion out, and looking to move forward now and do extremely well in the tournament. It's the biggest stage to do it, really. There's no bigger stage. Obviously I'm thrilled and delighted to be a part of the team, and now it's a chance not only for me but for all 21 of us to perform on this stage. We're all bonded together, we're all fighting for the same goal, and I believe anything can happen.
And the shot was spilled for Kelly Smith.
I think I've realised now that I am, you know, one of a role model for a child or a young girl playing football, just because of where I've been in terms of playing freshly in America, playing for Arsenal, playing for the best club, women's club in the country, winning the UEFA Cup. I think, you know, for a young girl, that's amazing to look up to. I never had a female role model when I was growing up. It was always males footballers.
Into the goal! Kelly Smith finally breaks through.
Out in America in the WSA, the league ran for 6 months, so we were training every day, travelling, playing games, and getting paid to do that. It was amazing. It is definitely the life, especially for, you know, a top-level women's footballers. Well, you're training every day in America. With Arsenal, we train two nights a week, so the fitness levels were a little bit different. In terms of technique, I'd say it's pretty similar. From the US to England, coming to Shanghai, I'd say it's a little bit cooler here, but the air is just very muggy and still a little bit harder to breathe. So training sessions have been, you know, a little bit easier, but still not. The air's a lot different to what it is in England. Well, it's always been a dream of mine from as long as I can remember to perform on the biggest football stage, and it's finally here. It just means the world to me. I get all emotional talking about it. But no, it's just a wonderful feeling to know that you can perform on the best stage, stage of world football.
Still love that celebration. And Heather, you were a teammate of hers in Philadelphia. How did she handle that injury after injury after injury onslaught?
Well, I think it was hard for Kelly, and really the only year she was healthy was in 2000, her very first year. She had a lot of injuries since then, and I think for Kelly, her biggest downfall was just the fact that you bring in someone tough against her, and she was a little too soft. I think since then, she's had all these injuries. You would think she might come out here and be timid, and since then she's been almost like she's a chip on her shoulder. I think she's become a lot tougher through all the injuries.
And Coach, she is a classic hybrid player. You can play her up top, you can play her in the midfield. You're going to be fine either way.
Right, and she's going to create matchup problems. If she's not getting the ball up front where I think she should start today, she may drop back into the midfield to get balls. But she's athletic, she's mobile, she's very technical, she's very comfortable in front of goals. She knows how to score goals, and she's very sophisticated as a player. She'll make the best decision with the ball consistently.
All right, Heather, you defended her all the time in practices when you guys were teammates in Philadelphia in the WSA. What are the keys to keeping her contained?
She's predominantly left-footed, so you're always trying to force her to the right, and you don't want to have her face up in front of goal. If you can keep on her back, be really tight on her, and make sure she can't turn, I think that's the way that the U.S. will be most successful against Kelly Smith today.
Kelly Smith has had a lot of success in this tournament, 4 goals already. 2 multi-goal games as well for England. She is just so awesome.
And here we see this beautiful cross from myself. Kelly with the header. She's going me head. I hit it with me head. She doesn't score very many goals with the head, but this one she did, probably because of that cross. And here we see Kelly again working it, put it into the back of the net. And then we see this beautiful celebration. Rob, I said I needed to learn a couple things from her earlier in this match. You said I'm not going to score very often, so why do I need to learn? Well, this is why. Right here. I could be using a little boot-kissing celebration myself next time.
That was genuine. I like that celebration. Scored from like 3 centimeters, but it's still a goal. It's still a goal.
It's still a goal.
Goal's a
Come
goal,
on.
no matter how
I'm a defender. You
measly
got to give it
is.
to me.
Got to act like
Okay.
you've scored before. Now, speaking of acting.
Team in this event. As for England, it's only their second appearance in a World Cup, and in 1995 they got to the quarterfinals. They were knocked out by Germany by the score of 3-0. The teams are set in the middle of the field. Time for the national anthems of England and the United States.
Today, the football family celebrates the worldwide FIFA Fair Play Day.
国际足联和中国组委会很荣幸借今天比赛之机，宣传公平竞赛，鼓励所有运动员、教练员、官员以及广大球迷在球场内外进行公平的竞争，并在他们生活中的各个领域中充分展示公平、公正和团结的精神，树立榜样。
FIFA and the local organizing committee are proud to dedicate today's match to fair play and encourage all players, coaches, officials, and fans to play fair, both on the pitch and off it, leading by example and showing fairness, impartiality, and solidarity in everything they do.
下面就让我们一起聆听比赛双方会长对公平竞赛的讨论。
So, let us all join the team captains in their commitment to fair play.
On behalf of the national team of the United States of America, I declare that we play fair and by the rules, showing respect for our opponents and the match officials. In this spirit of fair play, we pledge our support.
They're the captains of the two teams before the national anthems, talking and stressing fair play. Christine Lilly, of course, is the USA's captain.
Into school. Let's play fair. Let's score goals for girls.
England's captain is Faye White.
I pledge to demonstrate our society. It is an objective that football and education can help achieve. We therefore support FIFA's Fair Play campaign and say my game is fair play.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of the USA.
请全体起立，奏美国国歌。
taking a look at the big picture, we've gone from 16 teams down to 8 and actually 7 now because North Korea went down to the knockout stage earlier to Germany. So we know that Germany will take on the winner of Norway versus China. That is coming up this weekend. And the USA, England will face the winner of Brazil versus Australia. The semifinals will be in midweek. Let's talk about some of the stars, Julie Fadi, to watch today. Abby Wambach has been the leader carrying this U.S. team offensively.
She scored 3 of their 5 goals in that first round. It's just been carrying the load, like you said, JP. That's been phenomenal. The one against Sweden is one of the best goals I've seen in the World Cup. But important for the United States today that they have other people, including Abby, that contribute. I think Christine Lilly is going to be due as well.
Wambach has been carrying the team, as we said, offensively. On the opposite side, Kelly Smith, well, she has half of England's goals.
And Kelly Smith, another special world-class scorer. We talked about her in the studio show, and she just is so crafty and is so good in front of goals. She's got 4 goals in this first round, so quite a matchup between 2 of the best goal scorers in the world, and you're going to see both of them on the field tonight and hoping to lead their country into that all-important semifinal match.
That is Hope Powell, the head coach of England, first female head coach that they've had. Players from both teams gathering behind the banner, "My game is fair play." We're still a few minutes away from this opening kickoff in this knockout round. England versus the United States. The USA #1 according to the FIFA rankings. England ranked number 12. So this would be a big upset if England were to win this match, but a lot of people are giving them a chance.
And a very good team. It's you know, they came in underrated, and many people, having watched them after their first 3 games, think, you know, this is going to be an excellent match and not an easy one for the United States, no question.
They held Germany to a 0-0 draw, a match that they could have won just as easily as Germany could have. The captains are there at the center of the field with Christine Lilly and Faye White. Faye White has been the captain of her team since 2003, and she's had to overcome some serious knee injuries to get herself back in the lineup, where she is a regular now as a central defender for England. Match referee today is going to be Jenny Palmquist. They're the available subs for today. And who might we see for the United States? They've not used many subs in this tournament.
They haven't used many at all, and Lindsay Tarpley has come off the bench. Carly Lloyd, usually a starter. Leslie Osborne is getting that starting spot today. She may come in. Allie Wagner, another one, who can only go about 30 minutes because she's carrying a little bit of a groin injury still.
Well, everything changes now in the knockout stage. The winner advances, the loser goes home, but there are no more draws. So if it's tied after 90, 2 15-minute overtimes, no golden goal, no sudden death goal, so you'll play out the full 30. If it's still tied, on to penalty kicks, which most people feel is still a tough way to lose. All set for England and the United States. USA in white, England will be in red, -1 key player in Farrell Williams. So they made 1 change in their lineup with Katie Chapman going in that spot. Waiting for the referee's whistle from Jenny Palmquist, who is from Sweden, refereed that England-Germany game that we just spoke about in that first round. A very experienced official, saw her in the Olympics as well. This one is underway. We'll see how Kelly Smith and England fare against the United States. And the pass from Carney, broken up by the U.S. Sent long by Rampone. And upfield it goes toward Wambach, but that's going to be cut off. Asante will take it. And she'll play it back to goal to Rachel Brown. Back for Asante on the left. England have only made a few changes in their starting lineup throughout this tournament. They've gone with the regular group, including Carney for the most part on the left side. That's Aluko with a pass. Trying to work it ahead. U.S. breaks that up with Lopez sending it back the other way.
And not having Farrell Williams in the lineup for England is a huge loss. She comes in with 2 yellow cards accumulated in that first round because she was their 2nd leading scorer in qualifiers with 6 goals, right behind Kelly Smith.
And the yellow cards are wiped clean, so everybody's starting this round with 0. Of course, if they get 2 in this next round, they would have to sit out a match. So Christy Rampone was one that had 1 yellow card prior to that last game in the first round, but that's now wiped out. Pass ahead from Kolupny. Comes back to Brown. USA has dominated the lifetime series against England on the women's side. It's different on the men's side of things. The last time these two clubs met, even though Wambach and Lilly didn't play, England probably had their best game, a 1-1 draw in China.
They did, and talking to Heather Mitz, who was there at that game, she said, we walked away from that game and we're like, wow, this is a team that has improved immensely. Granted, the United States did not have Abby Wambach or Christine Lilly in that game.
Kat Whitehill ready for the throw-in. Looking long near post, doesn't go far enough. Cut off there on the left sideline. England in red, that's Kelly Smith. That one took an awkward bounce, but England had no one on that right flank. Otherwise, they might have been able to advance into the offensive third. Let's check out the starting lineup again for the United States. Hope Solo is in goal.
You've got Hope Solo in goal, and Greg is going with his traditional 4-3-3 lineup. He's got the same four in the back he had against Nigeria. The switch in the midfield was Leslie Osborne playing a more defensive role for Carly Lloyd. And then the same three up top that he also had in the last game against Nigeria.
Lilly on the far side will have the throw-in for the United States. In for Wambach. Happy falling down just outside of the box. Right back up. Trying to send that one in. It goes behind Brown. Goal kick coming up for Hope Powell's England team. Spoke to Greg Ryan earlier today at the hotel and asked if he was concerned about anything, and he said one thing. Looked at his team recently and he said they appear to be a little bit tired, a little bit fatigued, but he thinks they can get through this and then they'll have a bit of a break before the semifinals.
Yeah, he mentioned those first three games taking its toll on their legs, and how he was worried with England having an extra day rest that his team never just had a chance to catch up.
They played 3 tough games and in pretty bad conditions, except for the one against Sweden.
They won't know what to do on a dry field, actually.
Yeah, this field actually looks pretty good in Tianjin. Held up there by Casey Stoney, and she'll push it right back to Brown. Rachel Brown, formerly from the University of Pittsburgh. Some of these English players do have USA ties. Foul is called on Shannon Box. Free kick for England. Asante to Faye White. Back for Asante. Pressure here against White. And England just playing it back.
And you can see in these first 5 minutes, both teams trying to feel each other out, get a rhythm. England likes to start with a slower build-up. We've seen it in the past 3 games.
England looking to push it forward. They scored more goals in the opening round than the U.S. did, but of course they did have Argentina in their group. On the right side, not much room there. England trying to find it. And now they'll try the center. Right through towards Party, but she was angled off, and it goes into Hope Solo.
And you're seeing Kelly Smith in the midfield, and there was a question whether she's played both up top and in the midfield. There was a question where she would go tonight, and with Farrah Williams being out, they put her in the midfield, which I think is a good thing for the United States. She's further away from her goal, being one of the best goal scorers in the world.
Chrissy Rampone will have a throw-in. Markgraf tries to go high. Too far for Kolupny. Another goal kick coming up for England.
Coach Ryan actually said he preferred her up top because he felt that her back to goal, she likes everything at her feet. His back four could contain her better, whereas Leslie Osborne has to chase her a little bit more in the midfield and has to find her. I'm always a fan of get them farthest away from goal as possible if they're great goal scorers.
Well, you've got Kelly Smith on the English side, of course Abby Wambach on the USA side. Can either side win, Julie, if one of these two is not at their best today?
I think the United States probably has the edge in that category because I think they're deeper than England. So if Abby doesn't have a great game, there's so many other players that can step up.
England relying more on Kelly Smith. We mentioned 4 of England's 8 goals coming into this one. We're in the knockout stage of this World Cup here in the quarterfinals. So you lose this one and you're out. Right now the USA have an injury. That's Lori Kolupny.
And Kelly thinks she's going to get the call there. I don't know if the whistle was blown first, and I think a little angry that it wasn't, and a little angry at Lori Kolupny for coming in hard. England does get that call.
Mary Phillip will put it back into play. She plays for Arsenal, one of 9 players on the English squad from that famous club. England settling. Scott wide right. She likes to push forward. In fact, she scored the goal against the USA in that game in January, that 1-1 draw.
And some very versatile players for the English squad. Alex Scott also can play an outside back position.
Smith tried to bring it down. It's going to be a goal kick for the United States.
Good look at number 10, Kelly Smith there. What makes her so special is being one of the best goal scorers in the world. She doesn't need to just play up top. She can also play make in the middle. Has all these qualities. She's such a complete player.
Hope Solo sends this one over the halfway line. 2 players going down. 1 for each side. It'll be a throw in for England. 8th minute. USA versus England. Throw in coming up for Mary Phillip. On the far side of the field. This is a brand new stadium. 60,000 it seats, 60,000 plus. They'll use it next year for the Olympics. And they're still putting some of the finishing touches on this stadium, even today. USA trying to go long. O'Reilly, the only one up top at the time. Here's Box. Trying to settle. Finds Rampone. Christy Rampone trying to go in deep towards the corner flag. Can she cross? She's trying to get it in there, but it's denied by England, and they'll send it upfield. Here's Whitehill stepping up, broken up there. Aluko will push it back. The middle, that's blocked, intended for Jill Scott. White will play it to the outside. 9th minute from Tianjin. White again. It's going to be headed away by the U.S. Some aerial battles there. Both teams have some very physical players who are good in the air. Smith trying to get through. Box will slow it down.
We've talked a lot about the U.S. needing to hold possession more, and the fact that they're coming in fatigued. And part of the problem in those first 3 games is when you're not holding the ball, you're chasing the entire game, and that just gets exhausting. And already you're seeing England getting the greater play of possession and the U.S. having to do some chasing.
Tony DeCicco mentioned it in the pregame. You have to possess the ball better. And Heather Mitz was also saying send the backs forward, but I guess it's easier said than done because still we've not seen the USA at their best in the possession game.
And I think the back 4, one of the best defensive lines in the world, where they can contribute is a little more offensive play. They're going to set that first pass in. They're going to set the tone for your possession. Seeing Kat Whitehill and Kate Markgraf settle it down for the United States.
England had over 70% possession in the opening minutes here. We've just hit the 10-minute mark. That's impressive for England. It's early.
And all the players, when you talk to them on the United States team, and in Coach Ryan as well, they say, we know we're not possessing it well. We're trying to get better. I mean, they know it's a topic of concern.
Lopez puts that one up. Lily makes the run. It's deflected, and coming out making a nice play is Rachel Brown. 27-year-old goalkeeper.
And this is one of those balls that's just going to hang out around the 6. They're so dangerous because they can take a deflection. It gets messy. Rachel Brown doing a great job coming off her line to catch that one.
It was nice to see the long look, too, for Christine Lilly. Offensively, this has not been as good a tournament for Christine as we've seen in the past. She's setting up scoring chances, but she's not been on the end of the scoring chances.
She hasn't been able to get anything on net in the last 3 games.
That's a drought for her. Here's O'Reilly pushing it back. Right side, Rampone. To Markgraf. Greg Ryan likes the way the back four have been playing so far in this tournament. And they've gotten through as the first place team in their group, but now can't afford to take any chances or make mistakes, because mistakes at this stage send you home.
There's no second chance at the quarterfinals, and some of the greatest games the U.S. has played have been, I think, in the quarterfinals. I can remember the 1999 match against Germany, having to come back from being down.
The Norway game was a close one too in 03. Into the box it goes. England winning that ball initially. Looking for the second ball is the U.S. on the far side. Osborne was up there for it. The U.S. will get it back. Switch to the middle for Whitehill. Immediate long ball. Headed toward Brown. USA got to that. It's wide. It'll be a goal kick for England. 13th minute. England the better of the two possession-wise.
And the U.S. also has been focusing on its first 20 minutes. Their first two games of the first round, really slow starts. Did better in the Nigeria game, scoring in that first minute, but then couldn't get anything else after that.
The flank knocked away by the U.S. Out of play by Lopez, the youngest player in the starting lineup for the U.S. That's Mary Phillip. She'll try to find Aluko. Off Phillip again. Aluko on the side. Aluko number 9 pushed it back, and out it goes. England will have another throw-in. And they're looking towards Kelly Smith. She draws 2. Smith. Good work rate. Nice turn. She's deceptive there. To the end line she goes. Knocked out. It'll be a goal kick. She thought she had a corner out of it, but you could see they do not want her to turn. There might not have been as bad a spot as turning inside the box, but she's so dangerous.
And you can see Kate Markgraf asking for the dive on that, showing the referee. And Kelly Smith, unfortunate to not get more out of that, but that's where she is so dangerous. She just spun 3 players right there.
USA versus England, looking to advance against the winner of Brazil. Australia will have that game for you tomorrow. That game is going to be played right here in Tianjin. Saw Tom Sermani, Australia's coach, at the hotel earlier today. Several teams staying at the same hotel, which you never see in the men's game. Here's Kalupny. The U.S. trying to get some numbers forward. England have quite a few red jerseys back, though. That's Asante against O'Reilly. Gave that away for a throw into the U.S.
And that's going to be a great matchup. Asante versus Heather O'Reilly, both with tremendous speed.
U.S. maybe looking here for the longer throw-in. Wambach, one of the targets, near post. It's Whitehill, and she'll throw it back. Lopez drives it into the box, headed down, and then headed out by the U.S.
I think that's actually a good switch-up. Usually the United States on their throw-ins are going to target Abby off her head. Everyone's going to run off her, and she flicks it on. They mixed it up there, and England had obviously scouted that and dropped back, so Stephanie Lopez was wide open.
Faye White will play it over to Asante. We're in the 16th minute. No score. USA, England in this knockout stage. Germany has already advanced to the semis with their win 3-0 over North Korea. Germany got a big goal before the end of the first half, and that obviously helped them and probably deflated the North Koreans. Germany added 2 more later. So we'll see the defending champs again. Tonight's match coming to you from Tianjin's Olympic Center Stadium. The USA versus England. Quarterfinals, winner advancing, loser ends up home. The USA has never failed to get beyond this stage. Rampone to the middle. What are you thinking, Jules? First 15 minutes, 16 minutes now, just about gone.
I think England has the better flow to the game, but The U.S. now just starting to probe a little bit. I like the patience better.
England will break that up.
And where England is so dangerous is they defend in a 4-5-1, putting 5 in the midfield, but they attack with like a 4-3-3, and they fly numbers forward. Their outside backs get forward. Their wing midfielders get really high. And a late tackle by Stephanie Lopez. Another good call by the referee.
Alex Scott drew it. Free kick here for England from a few strides ahead of the halfway line.
And you see the captain for England, Faye White, number 5. The target in the box, Shannon Bucks, is going to try and pick her up.
Kelly Smith running around trying to get herself free. Played long inside. One miss there. That was Faye White, who was the closest to it. Katie Chapman was also in there. Chapman is the one who replaced Farrell Williams, but so far England has done well without Farrell. So far.
So far. And the other thing Farrell Williams brought is she scores all their penalty kicks. So if this game does go into penalty kicks, or if they get a penalty kick called in the game, they're missing one of their best PK takers.
Here's England pushing left to Carney. She's got good speed. Not afraid to challenge defenders either, 1v1. Pushed up, the turn there. Smith with a shot. Good block there. That was Kalupny. Kalupny among those singled out today by head coach Greg Ryan for some high praise, playing in her first World Cup. Loves her work rate up and down the field. USA's ball farther upfield with Rampone. Playing in her third World Cup. That's the long throw in. O'Reilly will go. Tackled away. This is the first corner for the United States.
And that's what Heather O'Reilly brings to a game is, even though she doesn't get in the box, that take-on mentality, she's going to go at players with her speed, and she gets a corner kick for the United States. Now the U.S. so strong on set pieces. They've got so many targets on that back post. They're going to have Abby Wambach.
Again, they went short with that corner. Knotted down, coming straight out. Tagged by Kalupny. It's blocked and cleared by England. The U.S. will have another throw in.
And on all these set pieces, England knows how strong the U.S. is. They're going to have Abby Wambach marked up by Faye White. This is the great matchup right here.
Wambach trying to cut inside. It's going to be deflected out and belongs to England.
Both about 6 feet tall.
The USA players fairly youthful. I mean, the average age is higher than it has been in previous World Cups, but not as many players have World Cup experience compared to the teams that you played on.
Now you have 5 starters on the field tonight who are playing in their first World Cup, although Heather O'Reilly did have an Olympics.
U.S. will chase this back, play to the feet of Hope Solo. Her kicking game is very strong. She has a lot of confidence with the ball at her feet. Matsaluka in the box. Tapped it, didn't have enough at the end because USA came back very well defensively. Markcraft stepping in and maybe altering that shot a little bit.
And the U.S. caught a little bit out of position, and this is where they're so good on that back line, their recovery speed. Kate Markcraft coming back to save it still, even when she was a little out of position.
The U.S. will have this throw in from Lilly. To the sideline, and that's knocked out of play. England will have a throw in. USA and England knockout stage, 21st minute. We're coming to you tonight from this beautiful stadium in Tianjin. This part of the broadcasting team arrived yesterday. Long flight, but nice to be here certainly and see what it's like in these stadiums. Isn't it great?
It is. It's great.
I must say that when Julie Feidy was on the sidelines tonight, when we were doing our pregame stuff, she said, "This is what I missed the most. Big tournaments."
I do. These big games. There's nothing like it, playing for everything, with everything on the line.
England on it. Left side of the field. Casey Stoney's pass is blocked. U.S. will get it back. Waiting for the help is Wambach. Then she trying to turn. Asante made a nice play. Here's Kalupny stepping up, knocked away by England. They're looking to counter quickly. The switch to Aluko. Trying to go inside, then outside. Slotted it. It's behind Jill Scott. England have some numbers up. Wide left it goes for Carney. Looking to free herself. A right-footed cross inside. And the flag goes up. What a collision that was, though, inside. Just outside the goalkeeper's area. 2 players are down. I thought Solo was going to get the worst of that, and she's fine. But there are 2 players down, 1 from each side. Lopez and I believe Jill Scott.
And here's the ball in by Carney. She sees Jill Scott. And Jill Scott coming out, instead of with the header, she comes with the high leg.
Boy, you talk about focus. I mean, Hope Solo doesn't get hurt there, but all she's looking at is the ball with all that traffic in front of her. And let's hope that they're both okay.
And I'm surprised Jill Scott didn't come in with the head and try and cut in front of Hope Solo.
Right now, we can tell you that Tina Ellertson is already warming up on this running track here. So they're not going to take any chances if there's an injury. In the previous game, opening of the tournament, North Korea, remember Abby Wambach, 11 stitches left and was out for 8 minutes. North Korea ended up scoring, and Greg Ryan still says that he would do the same thing again. And most people, I think, agree with that because Wambach is such a key player. But she's probably the only person that they would do that to. 2 players. We'll hope that they are okay.
And I saw Hope. You can see her there grabbing her shoulder. Hope Solo grabbing her shoulder. She came into the Nigeria game, the 3rd game, with an elbow injury. 3rd game in the 1st round. So we'll keep an eye out for that.
We'll see how they do. World Cup storylines for you. Goldbranson now with 5 goals, the tournament goal-scoring leader, and she had the 500th goal in Women's World Cup history. Birgit Prinz set a goal-scoring record, number 13 in her career, beating Michelle Akers. You've got Marta playing well, Wambach, Kelly Smith, and all the previous World Cup winners right now, anyway, are still alive in this tournament. Osborne played it over. Deflected off the Lilly pass, out of play. USA will have a throw-in. 24th minute.
And the U.S. very fortunate to come out of that situation, not a goal down. A great opportunity for England.
This one up in the air. England looking for it. Still haven't seen Lopez. We should have timed it. Remember that Wambach was out for about 8 minutes, and there is Lopez now. So they must have stopped the bleeding, and she's going to be coming back out. You don't want to have to use a sub early in a game, and you're only allowed 3. And remember, this one could end up in overtime and on the penalty kicks. Playing across, and Brown with a bobble. But she's okay. There's no traffic in front of her.
They turned the U.S. medical team into a pit crew after the Abby incident. Speed it up.
You got to be more careful though now with your subs because of the extra time session, because you know if it's tied after 90, you've got to play another 30 then on the penalty kicks. Rampone with that pass, it's blocked. Carney slowing it down for England. Jill Scott. So that wasn't too long anyway with Lopez off the field, or didn't seem like it. England playing with confidence. They've had a good World Cup to this point. It will be even greater if they could spring an upset tonight.
And they are playing with confidence. When they receive the ball, they face up to the defender. They look confident on the ball. They pause. They freeze. Versus the U.S. seems a little hesitant still.
Wambach on the left. End line, trying to cross it. It's tackled out. It's going to be a goal kick. Well, we've played better than 25 minutes, and really the 2 players that we've talked about the most, Wambach and Kelly Smith, have really not been a factor in this so far.
Well, I think Kelly Smith is clearly getting a lot more touches than Abby Wambach, and has been a little more effective. Abby's going to continue to get those long balls over the top, and the U.S. just needs to establish some type of rhythm so they stop chasing. That just gets so tiring. That starts to really take a toll in the second half, especially in your fourth game.
I thought Smith would actually get more of the ball, but I think England is doing a great job of spreading it around more so that they don't have to rely on just the one player. The U.S. trying to break that up. They don't get it there. Sent all the way across by Smith to Corney. Attacking, shooting off the right foot, but it's right at Solo.
And you can see how aggressive England is when they attack. Right there you had Stoney, Casey Stoney, the left back, making an overlapping run. Always putting the United States on their heels with the numbers they're sending forward.
USA will have another throw-in from just over the halfway line. Stephanie Lopez. Whitehill. Back for Lopez. Still has some time left at the University of Portland. Missing some classes for the World Cup. The run from the left. U.S. looking across it. Colombi. She's going to get a corner kick for her side. So we'll see how the U.S. plays this. They were going with the short corners on the last attempt.
They'll bring two players over to the ball. One player, Christine's going with Stephanie Lopez, Christine Lilly, which draws two England defenders you can see there.
In swinger, you can hear her get away. That's the goalkeeper talking. You've got to be communicating if you're Rachel Brown with all that traffic. She may have taken one of the lips there. Another corner for the U.S.
And that's why Kat Whitehill is going to be right in front of the keeper for that purpose exactly. She tries to obstruct her and get in her way. Put some traffic in front of her, and that's two Rachel Brown has been a little bit shaky with in the air. So if I'm the United States, I fly it into that 6-yard box right now. I don't go with that short option. They may be just providing that short option to draw another defender.
Lopez drives it low. It's kicked out. Cleared way out by England, sent back in by Markcraft. High and wide. Goal kick for England. We talked before about the two key players, Kelly Smith, Abby Wambach, and the last time we looked, Kelly Smith had double the number of touches of the Abby Wambach. Two great players, each having strong World Cups to this point, but only one will continue after tonight.
Here's the issue with Kelly in midfield. She's going to get a lot of touches, but are they going to be touches that are dangerous in front of the United States goal? You saw in the first game where they played Japan, England played Japan, she was playing midfield, and then in the second half, Hope Powell moves her to center forward. She scores 2 goals right away, and it made an entire difference in the way England played. So I'm sure somewhere in this game we're going to see Kelly Smith be brought forward.
Casey Stoney will push it up. USA pressuring the ball. Carney up the wing, too far away for Aluko. The U.S. will have a throw-in. Rampone, 32 years of age, from Point Pleasant, New Jersey. Touch back to Rampone from Lilly. In the air, set forward to Wambach. Asante is there. And she'll just clear it to safety. Lilly wants a quicker throw-in. Play with a little more urgency. To the inline, O'Reilly. Cut off by Asante. England again with the ball. Aluko. Shielded it well from Markcraft. Push to the outside. England trying to get some other numbers forward. Left there for Aluko. Scott. Defended high by Osborne. Here's Alex Scott. Right side. Mary Phillips cross. Cleared by Osborne. Smith lost it, goes hard after it. That's a great effort. On the sideline, Aluko. Nice move. Trying to get around Markcraft. Has a decent she will get a corner kick for England.
That's better for Maluko, because the few times she's been in a dangerous position, she hasn't gotten anything from it. And again, I love the way that England is so aggressive with their transition. They're getting 4 or 5 numbers running, 5 players running at the back line for the United States.
Karen Corney will take it from the near corner. Strikes it, far post, headed straight up and out. Last touched by England. Goal kick for Hope Solo. Katie Chapman had stepped forward for that.
England's so effective with getting their outside backs forward, and you never see that with the United States. At least you haven't seen it much in these last 4 games they play. They need to be a little more aggressive going forward. Get some numbers. Get those outside backs for the United States forward.
Lopez will push it back to Solo, who clears. USA winners of their group. Started off with a 2-2 draw against North Korea. Played better against Sweden in a 2-0 win. Then that 1-0 close one against Nigeria with Kolupny's goal standing up. We've still not seen the USA at their best, but they were good enough to win that group and put themselves in this position playing England as opposed to playing Germany in the quarterfinals.
And you think about the Men's World Cup last year in Italy, who ended up winning the whole thing. Similar first round problems. So good news for the United States that even with those problems, they got out first.
England on the ball. They'll play it back to their goalkeeper, who clears it. Halfway line. England started off with that 2-2 game against Japan. They had given up that lead in that game. Then the 0-0 result against Germany. Then they blew away Argentina. A game they had to win by 2 goals to advance. They won by 5 goals to advance. But their road to this stage was not as difficult as the United States, especially playing Argentina in that last game. Whitehill with this pass. Right side, O'Reilly. 34th minute. Womack. Defended well by the captain, Faye White, but it's still going to be a corner kick.
And this is going to be such a great battle all game. Both of these players very physical. Little handball almost at the end, but they're not going to call it. She's out of bounds, unintentional.
Lopez is coming over to take another corner for the United States. USA and England scoreless in this quarter-final round matchup. It's a knockout. Winner goes on, loser goes home. Right to the middle. Deflected down, and England is able to clear. Markgraf will collect it right at the halfway line. Looks long. Sends this one up, and again, that's another giveaway. That's what everyone has been talking about, from coaches to broadcasters. Instead of a simple ball there, they're trying to catch England. Long ball, you lose possession.
And talking with Coach Ryan about it, we said, you know, have you addressed it as a team? Have you talked to him about it? And he says, sure, we talk about it. We're not going to show any video because I think it's actually the nerves. They're unsettled. They're nervous. So I don't want to unsettle them more, but we talk about being more confident on the ball.
And it's everybody. That was Markgraf, who's a veteran. And Ryan told us today, you look at some of the giveaways, it's by the veterans as well as the young players. Collective. 2 players battled right near the halfway line. That was Alex Scott involved for England. Chapman will spin away and find Asante. Left side to Stoney. Kelly Smith. Faye White holds, gives it up into the middle. USA and England now in the 36th minute. Still looking for the game's first goal.
And what England has to be careful with is how many set pieces, corner kicks they give away in their own box, because there's only so long that they can go before the United States capitalizes on them, with them being so good in the air.
Markgraf in the middle. Played long. The U.S. trying to get to that. And to will go out of play. The United States has never been held scoreless in a quarterfinal match at halftime, and we're less than 10 minutes away from the end of the first half. If you're England, though, you've played pretty well up to this point. If you can get into the locker room at 0-0, you've done pretty well. Here's the U.S. looking for one late. A low shot is deflected wide. We've got a player down for England. And no one has seen that except now for the referee, Jenny Palmquist, who will stop play.
It's an encouraging sign, no question, JP, you said, for England, because they know they're coming in against the #1 team ranked in the world. And here we're going to see the foul. That's a different one, I think. That's one on Kelly Smith.
Yeah, that's the captain who's down, Faye White. Well, if you're England, Julie, you've got to feel very good about yourself, especially at this stage. 0-0. This was the play with Wambach with the elbow, apparently. But if you're England, we said before they're playing with confidence. You would think the longer they stay in this, the more confidence they will have that they could pull off an upset.
And the way they're moving the ball around, it just wears on a team. It's so frustrating to defend and constantly chase. And when you see the United States constantly on their heels, it just lifts up a team that's offensively doing so many great things. And so I think England hopes to continue that possession and that rhythm and that flow.
She is one of the toughest players, not only for England, but in this World Cup. She's hurting a little bit there with that elbow. She's had 2 serious knee injuries, fought her way back on the team. We're so glad that she's back because of her leadership. Opa has to hope she's okay because she brings so much as an outstanding central defender. And one would think she'll be coming back. But right now, England are down to 10 in the 39th minute.
And they're going to have to shift the way they play. Drop a midfielder back where Faye White was. Going into a 4-4-1.
We saw what that did for the United States against North Korea. They gave up a couple of goals. We'll see how England plays it.
And those were the only 2 goals the United States has given up this tournament when they were down a player. Playing this exact system, 4-4-1. So Chapman drops into the middle of defense for Faye White.
USA will try the long ball. That doesn't work. It's a goal kick. So they're losing some time with White on the sideline. That is Hope Powell, a former player, pretty good goal scorer too internationally. Youngest England head coach and first female head coach. And they're going to love her in England if she pulls off a victory tonight.
I talked to my English in-laws this morning who, of course, live over there, and they said there's such an excitement around the women's team right now. The rugby English team and the cricket team both have lost in their World Cups 2020s, and so they said they're all rallying around the women right now.
I must admit, I wasn't up in the rugby stuff.
JP,
thanks for the update, though.
You got to stay on top of those things.
We had a long flight yesterday. This one's cleared deep by Rachel Brown. The captain is back on the field, Faye White, so it was only a couple of minutes max that England were down to 10 players. 40th minute now. Still scoreless here. They're throwing for England, and they'll do it quickly, maybe too quick. Kelly Smith couldn't get to that. Missed out on the earlier action today. Germany knocked a very good North Korea team out of this World Cup with a 3-0 win. So Germany will take on the winner of Norway versus China.
That's a statement, isn't it?
North Korea was very good.
Very good, and Germany seemed to beat them with ease.
Tapped ahead, U.S. looking to break. Right now, it's 3 against about 7. They didn't have the numbers going forward. Wambach was going to go upfield with that throw. Instead, it's back to Shannon Box. Lopez on her side of the halfway line. Cat Whitehill. Markgraf. The turn and then the pass in the Lopez does well to jump into the play. Stephanie Lopez will hold edge of the box. Back for Lopez on the wing. Cut to the inside. Cross off the right foot, knocked away by Scott. Lopez again drives it over. Put over the top. That was a chance for the great goal scorer, Abby Wambach.
And that's one of the first times you see an outside back for the United States get forward. And look what happens. Lopez getting forward. Great ball across. And Abby in that position, you just don't see many that she doesn't even put it on frame. She gets back. Her balance is back in her stance, and she puts that one over. But what a great missed opportunity for the United States.
Wambach and Smith, we're comparing their numbers today. Kelly Smith had the advantage the last time we looked. Comes back to Whitehill. She'll go along with that. USA maybe has something going here. Lily brings it down. Off the left foot. Tipped. Quality save. I thought Christine Lilly had her first goal of this World Cup. She'll have a corner coming up.
And you want this on Christine Lilly's left foot. She loves to strike them from outside, and great save by Rachel Brown. Looks like it's going in the upper corner. But good to get Christine Lilly involved before that halftime whistle blows.
Played to the edge of the box. Sent in wide. Rachel Brown will have a goal kick coming up.
And
coming up at halftime in our studios, Rob Stone, Tony DeChico, Heather Mitz with complete first half analysis. They'll also talk about the Germany-North Korea game. And can we congratulate Tony DeChico, new head coach of the Boston Breakers of the new Women's League that will start in 2009. So congrats, Tony, the first head coach named by any team in that league. That was announced on Friday.
Does that mean the mustache is coming back?
He can tell us that. Only he can tell us. He might try to sign you, though, as a player. No?
I think he knows better, actually, JP.
Hard challenge there on the far side. Wambach saying, what happened there? That ball was out, and Wambach's not going to get a call.
And you can see in the nose of Faye White, what a warrior. She's got tissue stuffed up her nose to stop the bleeding. That's going to be such a great battle for 90 minutes.
Faye White won't think about that injury until the game is over. Asante with that pass that's cut off. England doing well at this point. They continue to do well. We're nearly at the end of this first half, and it remains scoreless. Asante.
And it would be so great for the United States as a team. They're thinking if we can sneak one in before halftime against the run of play. We haven't had much of the ball.
Their best chance was that one by Christine Lilly. That might have changed things around.
Abby Wambach right before that.
Yes, put it over.
Good last 5 minutes for the United States.
Osborne taps it to the left. Maybe they can ride some momentum into the locker room at halftime, but we'll see. Still some time left in this first half, but not much. Depending on how much stoppage time they put on because of really 2 injuries. So if you hold to true stoppage time, there could be a decent amount put on. Scott. Off that wing. Kelly Smith turning. Running down that right flank. Near the end of this first half, we are in stoppage time now. Playing behind Carney. A collision there with Rampone. And that will go out of play. England's going to have a corner kick here. No time to relax for the U.S.
We call this the Big Five, the last 5 of the half, first 5 of each half. So important, so many goals scored in these moments.
Jill Scott, one of the targets there, listed at 5'11". She is all of that. Solo with help by the posts. Kelly Smith will take it. Left footer, right to the middle. Solo, 2 fists on it. The chase for this loose ball, the USA will pick it up in stoppage time. The speed of O'Reilly, but count them. She was by herself. There were 5 players back for England. Jill Scott the other way. Scored her first international goal in that last game against Argentina. Smith turning it upfield. Has some patience. Can distribute as well as shoot. Carney. Dancing on the sideline against Rampone. Tough defense one-on-one by Rampone. She'll clear it out.
Rampone is such a great 1v1 defender. And that situation, you want her right there against Carney.
Off the throw-in from Stoney. The U.S. breaks it up. Right by the halfway line. Wambach and Faye White, and that battle continues. And this time it's Wambach that's down in some pain right in front of that USA bench. Remember, she's got that bad right foot, or the big toe on the right foot. And she's been playing with that injury. That's going to do it for the first half of play. Scoreless, and I think at this point, you're going to give an edge to anybody. You'd give it to England. After this break, Rob Stone, Tony DeChico, and Heather Mitz with complete first half analysis from our studio. It's 0-0 at the half, USA, England. Second half just seconds old here in Tianjin. Lopez trying to cross it. It's knocked out of play. Only one change for England. Aluko left, replaced by the more experienced Rachel Yankee, who spent some time in New Jersey playing with the New Jersey Wildcats back in '05 in the W League. And she's also the most capped player on the squad. So a lot more experience coming in for England at halftime.
And this is one of the set pieces the United States does again, looking for Abby Wambach on her head. You'll see runners coming off her, and they go for the short option instead.
Whitehill stays up. Here's a cross, deflected away. U.S. wanting to get to that ball. It's Kolupny to Lopez. Whitehill. Lopez off the right foot. England will clear it out. What do you think went on, Julie, at halftime with the discussion, especially in the USA locker room?
Well, I think encouraging sign for the United States, and perhaps something they discussed at halftime, is the best chance the U.S. had was when Stephanie Lopez came forward.
Into the box, O'Reilly. Knocked out, another corner.
And you're already seeing her in a more attacking position in this second half. She's already been down by the inline. So being more aggressive offensively, getting those outside backs forward, getting a better rhythm on the ball, something that we keep talking about, but so critical to their chances on goal.
Sixth corner kick for the United States, first one this half. Concern on the part of Coach Greg Ryan. Hope Powell on the other side. Should be a little confident the way this is going so far. Driven inside, off Brown. Box, end line, tackled out. Seventh corner kick for the United States coming up. The USA did so well during the summer on those set pieces of getting opportunities here in this World Cup, but they haven't been as dominant in that category.
They haven't been, but they're getting a lot of looks, which is good.
Christine Lilly, ready to strike. Floats one up there. Rob came out late. A goal for the U.S. We believe Wambach got to that one in the crowd. 1-0 USA.
And you're going to see Abby on that back post. She loses her runner. Faye White loses her. And just a great look on goal over the back of Chapman. And this is what makes Abby Wambach one of the best finishers in the world.
There was no denying her that ball. 4 goals, 4 games played in this World Cup, 7 career goals in World Cup play, and this is only her second World Cup.
We said it in that first half with all those corner kicks and set pieces. It was only a matter of time before Abby got free on one of those.
This one cleared. England looking to get this back. Abby Wambach playing in her 100th international match, scoring that huge goal. She becomes the 20th player in U.S. soccer history to reach 100 games played for her country. Alex Scott to the end line. Takes the look. There's the cross. Soto came out a little bit late. Nearly got picked off. Cleared upfield towards Wambach. That's such a huge goal for the United States, especially at the start of the half, to give them the lead. Here's Box. England back in the ball. You see Abby Wambach's numbers, but the big one is that goal. She's had a better night because of that goal than Kelly Smith, who now has to step forward and help her team if they're going to come back.
And it will be an interesting, we'll see if Hope Powell, the coach for England, makes the switch. Will she put Kelly Smith in the center forward position closer to the England goal or keep her in midfield?
Kelly Smith, left side. Cut up there by the U.S. U.S. gets the early goal in the second half, 48th minute, to put them on top. How do you want to see them play now with the lead?
Well, you would think that this would give the United States more confidence, and they've been lacking in that, according to Coach Ryan and some of the players. They've just been so nervous on the ball, so perhaps this is the lift they need.
Carney to the left. We'll see how England responds, because they seem to be the better of the two sides in the first half. Here's a chance, but it was headed awkwardly away from goal, and Carney knows that could have been a game tire. But the chance was there. U.S. giving up that space in the box. Jenny Palmquist stops the play, calling that foul.
And England getting some dangerous looks in front of goal and just unable to convert any of them.
Free kick here with Whitehill. Ready to go with this. We've seen her strike these long, right into the opposing box. That's where that one's headed. Wambach was held off. Talked about the way the USA might play as it goes inside to Wambach, looking for a killer goal. Take it down. No call there. She didn't get it. U.S. stepping up here. And Wambach starting to dominate in the offensive third. Corner kick.
And that's the beauty, if you can call it beauty, in Abby's game, is that it's a little bit ugly, but it's effective, and you just wear players down. And Faye White, you wondered how long she was going to last with Abby.
USA with their 8th corner kick.
Right now they have Kelly Smith marking up Abby Wambach on the far post. Leslie Osborne standing wide open.
USA with that strike off the corner. Wambach going for it. She was held back by a couple of players. Kolodnik put it back inside, and it's caught by Rachel Brown. And as we watch this play on the sideline, we can see the USA have some subs up. We'll see if anyone is going to come in with this team up. 53rd minute. You talked about how the USA would play. If you're England, how do you push up? You don't want to give up space. A counterattack goal, they probably won't come back from 2-0 down.
Well, I think their style has been effective in that they're creating chances. They're not sharp enough in front of goal is their problem. So I would continue to be aggressive, send the outside backs forward. At some stage, think about moving Kelly Smith up top.
You would have done that, though, by now, right? Or no? Kelly Smith?
I like her up high. I would have put her high. The problem is, again, Farrah Williams, the midfielder for England, being out with a red card, changes their look in midfield, and they need her more in midfield without a Williams.
Yankee, far side. England looking for space. Good defending there again. Rampone will clear. Got a player down for England, but not for long. Carney's right back up. England with Smith on the left. Played it back. Yankee with a drive that's blocked. And it will go out for an England throw-in. Throw-in for Casey Stoney. In for Smith. She's had a lot of touches today, but so far, no luck. And that time it's Kolodnik with her. Leslie Osborne has been on her for a good portion of this match, and Osborne was the one who shut down Svensson in the Sweden game.
And here, a good look at Kolupny and Kelly Smith just battling. That's one of those I prefer you just let play.
In a phone conversation yesterday with Mark Picoria, now the head coach at Florida State. He used to coach Philadelphia in the WUSA. Regarding Kelly Smith, he said she can change the game at a moment's notice, and he calls her the best player in the world right now. And if England is going to come back in this game, she will have to change it. The pass
and the
ahead
great
for Brown.
news for England is you have a player on the field that truly has those capabilities.
Settled. Lily wants to free it up for the left foot. The pass to Box. Box will hold there. Makes the cut. Deflected away. The U.S. will push it right back inside the box. Given away there. Wambach touching it outside. O'Reilly back inside for Wambach, and that's cut off. And cleared by Chapman. Wambach's so good as a scorer, but she'll dish it off. She gave up an opportunity to try to possess inside the box. Went wide to O'Reilly, and then try to get into a better position for a scoring chance. Carney will cut this one off. USA and England in the knockout stage. Winner goes on. The loser will be headed for home. The winner will take on the winner of Brazil-Australia, which we'll televise for you tomorrow from right here in this very stadium in Tianjin. Pushed into the box in the air. Lopez cleared it out. Jill Scott tracks it down. Here's Asante for England. Right side to Faye White. This is more like the possession we saw in the first half from England, but now Phillip lost it. And it's going to be a throw-in for the United States. Lopez holding there in the wing. That one given away. Here's the U.S. with O'Reilly. Pushing it towards the end line. Tackled away. The USA will have another corner kick. We'll be joined in about 20 minutes by the head coach, former head coach of the USA national team, Tony DeCicco. He is in Bristol, Connecticut, in our studio. We'll get his thoughts on what's taking place here in Tianjin.
And England uses such an interesting tactic here. They zone the entire six and only put about one player out marking.
Lily sent that one out. That's way out. Rampone should get there first. Cleared away by Asante. Smith was pushed out. U.S. keeping it forward, and then it's lost there. Box steps in, wins it, shoots it in one motion. Shannon Boggs with a killer goal for the U.S.
Shannon Boggs in the perfect position to stop the counter, and then what a great strike with her left foot as well. Jill Scott trying to start the counter, and Shannon hits it so well in the traffic in front of Rachel Brown. Difficult for her to get a good view of the ball, but a great strike from Shannon Boggs to put the United States up 2-0.
That is a terrific shot. And when you think about all of the goals that Shannon Boggs has scored for the U.S., and she has scored some big ones, I recall many of them in the air, many off the right foot. That was off the left foot, and that might be enough, even though there's plenty of time left to take England out of this World Cup. We'll see. But for Boggs, her 17th international goal, and it couldn't have come at a better time for the United States. Phillip will try to cross this. Phillip trying to settle it down. England will get it back. They'll launch it inside the box. USA with a little more breathing room right now with that extra goal. And now Lopez takes off. Down this left flank. Lily. 1v1 against White. Takes her outside. Lily with a shot, but it's knocked down by Rachel Brown. USA fans have to be thrilled to see Boggs get that goal, because she has not had a strong World Cup to this point, and she is one of the best players. Intended for Kolupny. Shannon Boggs getting that goal to give the USA a 2-0 lead. Notre Dame fans will be thrilled with that because she went there from 1995 to 1999. They were national champs back in '95. She has a sister, Gillian, who also won a gold medal in softball at the '96 Olympics. And remember, box, Julie, uncapped prior to that last World Cup. Got some international matches in before that, but that was amazing. And she came out of the WSA. It wasn't for that league.
She credits the WSA for giving her a second chance with the national team. Coach Heinrichs picked her without even having seen her play on the national team. She had been doing so well with the league and became an instant starter.
Kudos to April Heinrich for that move because Box turned into one of the best midfielders in the world shortly thereafter. Here's Solo back in goal for the U.S. with a 2-0 lead at this point over England. Headed up by Jill Scott. Push back the other way. The winner of this match takes on the winner of Brazil versus Australia. We'll have that one tomorrow. Oh, Brown came out. This could be walked in, and it is. Christine Lilly with one of the easiest goals she'll score.
We've seen some keeper mistakes in this tournament. Rachel Brown has not had any of those happen to her yet until we see this one. She misjudges the bounce, but give credit to Christine Lilly for staying with that ball. Good first touch to get by the keeper, and an easy finish for the United States. And that just, for England, is such a killer. 2, you think, okay, we're still in this. 3, you could see their heads go down.
Well, if you're just waking up now, back in the United States in the morning, and you're seeing this score, you might think it was easy. This was a 0-0 game at halftime, and you could say that England were the better side in the first half. What has changed in the second half? Obviously, one goal gets it started, but what else has changed?
Well, I think it was a question of win for the United States with those corner kicks. They kept getting these set pieces, and Abby is such a good player in the air. There's only so many chances you can give her, and she'll finish one of them. So England giving up too many set pieces and corner kicks for the United States, and then you see it's just the game of soccer can be such a switch in momentum.
And if you're wondering if the USA can hold the lead, well, they've done very well with leads, and they've not allowed a goal in the last 270 minutes now. The last goal they gave up was against North Korea in game 1, 62nd minute. But a 3-0 lead is something they haven't had the pleasure of working with in this World Cup.
And just before that goal happened, Hope Powell had made the switch with Kelly Smith. She'd put her up at the center forward position. Good hold by Hope.
And Solo will just manage the clock a little bit there. No rush. Puts this one deep. And with a 3-0 lead, Greg Ryan will have his first opportunity to think about resting players at some stage, you would think. Especially since he mentioned earlier today he saw some fatigue on the part of his players.
And a great opportunity, no question. You've got 11 players on that field who have put in some serious minutes in this World Cup. I think as a coach, I would take Abby Wambach out for starters with her toe. Talked to her at the hotel beforehand. She says she shoots it up, but it's still hurting her.
Lilly will take this corner. 3-0, United States. Tremendous second half of them. They're finishing here, and that goes over the top. Looking for the fourth goal. That was Box in the air. Goal kick for Rachel Brown, who had looked good in this tournament. Not as good today, especially on that last goal. Might have been a little bit rattled, but we've seen some erratic goalkeeping, as we've talked about during this tournament, especially with goalkeepers coming out and balls bouncing over them, misjudging perhaps in some cases.
So unfortunate for her as well. You saw her in the Germany game making some great saves to get a point for England in the 0-0 tie, and then to have that happen on that third critical goal for the United States.
Box back to defend against Alex Scott. Rampone sends it wide. The chase there, Yankee tapped it back. Off a miss hit. Back towards the USA box. Swept out. Markgraf was at the end of it. England will have a throw in on the far side. And again, it's Casey Stoney. 65th minute. USA with a commanding lead.
25 minutes left in this game, and England knows there is still a lot of soccer, but they need to get one quick.
They remember that big Champions League result of a couple of years ago with Liverpool and AC Milan, but those don't happen often. Played inside the box, and there's Solo. Looked for a minute like she was going to lose that ball, but she hung on, and she has played with a lot of confidence in this tournament, especially when you consider the ball that slipped through her hands against North Korea. That would shatter many young goalkeepers. It didn't affect her. Might have only made her stronger. White coming back to defend against O'Reilly. And that ball will go out for a goal kick. Now, Hope Howell's team had a very strong first half, but not so here. Goal scoring leaders for the women all time. You've got Mia Hamm up there, and Christine Lilly, of course, now with 127. Birgit Prins is up there as well. You got to wonder if anybody's going to break Mia Hamm's record. You would think if Wambach plays long enough that she might, but Birgit Prins appears to be the one that would get the job done quicker because of her age. I think if Christine Lilly were going to play 3 more years, you'd say that record's going to go, but she's not going to do it.
I don't know if you're going to convince her of that one.
No, I don't think anybody can.
I said, oh, come on, you've got another World Cup in you. I said, are you crazy?
Christine's former coach, Tony DeCicco, will join us in about 10 minutes from our Bristol, Connecticut studios, where it is early morning there. It's early evening here in Tianjin. Actually, later evening now, 9:30 local time, thereabouts. This is Faye White from the halfway line. Winner of this game takes on the winner of Brazil-Australia. We're looking forward to bringing that one to you tomorrow. The great Marta and Christiane on display against an Australian side that has looked good in this tournament. Into the box it goes. U.S. clearing it out. And now they'll send it farther.
I think this would be a great opportunity for the United States to work on closing out games. They're up 3-0. They've got the fatigue of chasing often in those first 3 games. Hold the ball. Play simple. Make England chase. Wear that clock down.
This one will go out of play at some point. You've got to be thinking about substitutions, even though the team will have an extra day of rest. Their semifinal game won't be until Thursday. The other semifinal is on Wednesday. So that's a plus for the USA. Finally, after all these other things have gone against them, they get a break there, being that second semifinal match. But it's one thing to rest some injured players and some tired players, but also to give some of these young players a taste of the World Cup as well. You don't know when you might need them. Yankee coming in, shooting, and it's blocked. And it almost was blocked onto the path of Kelly Smith, who might have had an easy goal had that happened. Corner kick for England. Still playing with determination, some fire, but they need a goal desperately. Carney. Bending it in. That's going to be sent right back out. Smith goes down, draws the foul on Markgraf.
Dangerous spot for the United States. They're going to bend this and driven ball towards about the 8-yard line, 6-yard box. You can see U.S. setting their line. 2 English players right now standing actually in an offsides position.
I got to tell you, you're down by 3 goals. You got to speed it up. Long free kick taken. Solo knocked it away. That took way too long, though, when you're down by 3. Here's Asante. Mary Phillip sends that one in. Wanting to turn with Smith. She could not. Kelly Smith has had a lot of touches today, but nothing really close to being anywhere near a dangerous spot for her to turn and score.
And you can see the next step for England is they need to create more players that can finish around the box as well. You can't always just rely on Kelly Smith to win these games for England. They got in some dangerous positions and just unable to convert with those other players.
Yankee will hold it. Yankee will push it over to Asante. Smith looking to turn. Whitehill had her tied up. Smith was very physical there on the side, and actually Kelly Smith will get a throw in for her side. She'll let someone else take it, and she'll get closer to goal. Again, it's Casey Stoney, number 3 for England. Again, way too much time. England are 3 down. And the whistle will stop play right there. That was Alex Scott. United States, a much better team in the second half of games. They've scored 6 of their 8 goals in the second half. Tonight, 3 in about 12 minutes time. So they finally get the finishing. Greg Ryan said this morning they've had so many chances, they just were not finishing. Well, sometimes the goals do come in bunches, and couldn't have come at a better time for the United States.
And sometimes I think they just wear teams down, Abby particularly. She's such a force physically.
We showed you what the U.S. has done in the second half. In this entire World Cup, a lot of the goals, the majority of goals, have come in the second half of play. And you wonder, is that when teams are getting more tired or something else?
Well, there's always a lull usually for one side coming out of halftime. You want to be the one capitalizing on that. You see the majority of the goals happening in those first 15 minutes of second half.
Here's Columbia looking for another. Sent that one in, but it's well wide of Rachel Brown. Columbia with that game-winning goal, the only goal in that last match against Nigeria.
And you want to see England with only 20 minutes left, like you said, JP, with a little more urgency. I'm only seeing that out of Kelly Smith right now. You don't want to go into panic mode, but you got to be a little more urgent. You got 3 goals. Not an insurmountable task.
Who's done the good job today on Kelly Smith? Is it just Osborne, or is there help coming from all over?
Well, I think Coach Ryan had talked about Leslie Osborne marking her up more. We didn't see that as much. They shifted between Boxy and Leslie Osborne.
So more of a collective effort to slow her down. England is going to get, or no? They're not going to get a corner out of it.
A collective effort, and just by the luck of having her in midfield, I think that helps the United States because she's further away from goal.
Lopez is going to have to go off the field. You could see on that shot the blood, the cut has opened up. She was injured in the first half in a collision with Jill Scott, and they'll have to stop the bleeding before she can go back on the field. Hope Solo will put it back into play. USA with 10. But Lopez looks like she's ready to go back out there, and now she does. That was quick work on the sideline. We're coming to you today live from Tianjin's Olympic Center Stadium, a 60,000-seater used for this World Cup, and it's also going to be used for the Olympics next year. USA with a dominant performance here in the second half. They're up 3-0 off Wambach, who scored the game's first goal. Today's winner will face the winner of Brazil versus Australia, and that game is coming up tomorrow. Is this the best that the USA has looked now in this tournament, or?
Well, it's interesting. That's the interesting part of soccer. It is a good question because I think actually England looked better at times, and
first half,
especially that first half. But sometimes the more effective style isn't the prettiest style, and the U.S. seems to be getting away with that a lot in this tournament.
Well, they just have to keep it going now, 74th minute, and then they'll be on their way to the semifinals. They're the only 2-time champion of this event. And if the cards fall a certain way, they could end up facing Germany in the final. And Germany are the defending champions. And playing well, too. Rob Stone was mentioning they've not allowed a goal in this tournament. Today, another shutout. Neither has Brazil, by the way. And we always thought that if Brazil could play better defensively, look out. And in that first round, they did not allow a goal. We're going to see teams coming to the sideline now, get a liquid refreshment break, take a timeout for this injury.
Chapman's going to go down. It looks like she's cramping as well. The heat actually is much less than it has been in China, according to the players. Walking around tonight, it felt very nice outside. They said this is one of the best days we've ever had, which is good news for England. Not accustomed to playing in the heat that we saw last week.
Always love to see English fans, U.S. soccer fans we saw here as well. We shared a cab ride yesterday with some Australian fans who were thrilled to be here at this World Cup.
75 minutes almost in, and I'm surprised we haven't seen any substitutions for Coach Ryan. I do think he's going to make some soon. You see so many players on that sideline lining up, and Brett Hall just went and talked to Carly Lloyd.
We've got Tony DeChinco standing by, that new head coach we were talking about of the Boston Breakers. Coach, your thoughts on what's happened here in the second half?
Well, I think the USA picked up defensive pressure, and that picked up the pace of the game. I think the first half they were playing the pace of a game that England could survive in. Now they're playing the pace of the game that England is struggling to connect passes in. I think England Hope Powell waited too long to get Kelly Smith up top, and now I think Coach Ryan needs to, make some subs. You want to make some subs to get some people out, but you also want to make some subs to get some people in you may need later in the tournament. Certainly Kai and Tarpley and maybe a Hookleys or something. What do you think, Julie?
No, I agree with you, because he hasn't gone to his bench much, and one of the most effective things in past World Cups was having a deeper bench and having players you could rely on. So I agree with that, Tony, giving them some confidence.
Tony, you talked at the top about needing to have better possession, and you've also talked about other things in the studio. What are some of the things you can tell us about the way the U.S. has played in this one tonight in comparison to the other three games that we've seen them in?
Well, they have tried to play more possession. They still don't look totally comfortable with their possession, but they're trying to play more possession. And I think, even though you disagree with me, JP, I think they were the better team in the first half because they had the chances.
Really?
But, I'm not that big on the possession stat. It's where you get the possession. They had the best chances in the first half. But the game was played at a pace that England was comfortable with. Since the break, they've come out and played by putting England under more defensive pressure, picked up the pace of the game, and now England's struggling to to survive this pace.
Tony, thanks for your time and your thoughts from Bristol, Connecticut. Early morning there. Jill Scott looking for this ball, but it's tackled away. And out it goes for a USA goal kick. And looking at that sideline, still no subs up. England made only that one change earlier, bringing in Rachel Yankee. But now you're in the 78th minute. There are subs up behind the goal, but no one is near the fourth official, so no imminent change anyway. Here's Corney. Lost it there. U.S. pushing it up. Whitehill playing it back. Box. Switching it. Rampone up the side.
Much better rhythm for the United States. This is how you wear the clock down. You're not looking for goal differential in the quarterfinals. You're looking to get players through healthy, confident.
On the right side, that's Lilly. Watch the left foot. A bouncer. Spill right there in front. Nobody close enough on the rebound. Osborne keeps it going. Trying to send it inside. That's cleared by England.
And it's amazing what happens when you actually hold the ball and are patient like that. It's almost like you can walk it in eventually because gaps open up. You're unlocking defenses instead of waiting for mistakes.
Here's Box coming in. Toe pokes it, but there's Brown. I'm almost wondering if he's not making any changes, head coach Greg Ryan, because they are playing with a little more comfort on the ball, a little more confidence. and keeping that momentum going in this good feeling of a 3-0 game. I can't think of another reason.
Well, I can see if it's a 2-0 game against a good team like England, that you hold off.
Yeah.
One goal changes it. But with 3-0, you got to have more confidence in your bench.
Held up in the outside. Cracked in by White. Caught by Solo.
He also knows, he said to us today at the hotel, look, we just need to get through this game. We have 4 days of rest after this. And we can refuel the tank. So maybe he realizes that and wants to get the rhythm for his starters.
England have another sub up. Leanne Sanderson. Right at the halfway line. England will get it back. 80th minute. USA leading it 3-0. Goals by Wambach, Box, and Lilly. So 3 veterans step up big for the USA in the second half.
If the USA can secure 3 points here and in a large fashion like this with 3 goals, what a huge confidence boost, because all these past 10 days they've been facing are questions from the media saying, you're not playing well, you're not scoring.
O'Reilly looking for one there. Tackled away by Carney. We've got an injured player upfield as England get ready to make a sub. That was Wambach.
You see Wambach on the field, and again you look to the sidelines and say, when is a substitution coming?
Well, it's coming, but it's for England.
You start risking injury for the United States.
We see Carly Lloyd up on the sideline, but here's the substitution. Mary Phillip leaves. Leanne Sanderson makes her World Cup debut at age 19. USA will have a corner kick when play resumes. They're 10th. They're in double figures there. Lopez gets ready. Drives it low, headed down. One thing with Wambach, even though she's still in there, we asked her this morning, why were you running into the corners against Nigeria? A couple of times, and she's looked at us and said, I won't be doing that again.
I said, were you crazy? What were you thinking? She laughed. She goes, I know. Billy McNichol came up to me after the game and said, let's get rid of that ball.
One of the USA assistant coaches, Billy McNichol, former player back in the day. U.S. trying to settle this. England getting it back, pushing it back to Rachel Brown. USA finishing, and look at that mistake there. USA continuing.
It just highlights once again the importance of a solid keeper at the World Cup level.
Shannon Box will come out. Carly Lloyd will come in. And Shannon Box, not just because of the goal, but this had to be her best game in this World Cup, and the goal was one for good measure.
Yeah, and she had some great defensive plays in the box for the United States.
Yankee will get it back for England. Up the middle. Scott with a pass. USA reads it with numbers back. Nice backheel. England looking, and Solo comes off the line. Kelly Smith, though, was wide open, and they couldn't get her the ball. Hope Solo's shutout streak continues. Hasn't given up a goal since that North Korea game. That was on the first day for the U.S. It's good for her confidence, and for the team as well. Carly Lloyd. Upfield. Lilly in the box with a cutter too. Played it across. England looked tired there. Chapman couldn't get to the ball. A weak shot in on goal.
You see so much more confidence oozing out of the U.S. players.
Lloyd cut off there by Chapman. England back on the ball. Here's Carney. Trying to go 1v1, finding Scott. Right side. Scott again with his cross towards Yankee, and that's intercepted. The U.S. will pick it up, play it near the halfway line past Wambach. Abby with a goal in this one, her 81st international goal, and this her 100th appearance for her country. Only Michelle Akers had a better scoring record. After 100 games, Michelle scored 90 goals. If you're wondering about another comparison, Mia Hamm only had 55 in that amount of time. So Wambach closer to Michelle Akers in terms of being a dominant scorer, farther away from Mia Hamm. And at some point in time, don't you think, Abby, if she plays long enough, will end up being the all-time leading goal scorer? Is that too much pressure on her?
No, I think she definitely has that capability. And you look at those numbers and see where Mia was at 100, and you see just how special Abby is.
U.S. trying to close this one out, in control. I think that second goal was the one that really put them in control. The third one for good measure. Down 1-0. England could have still come back.
And that third goal is such a dagger the way it was scored.
Maybe another one's coming. Lily already had one, stripped away by Asante. USA headed for a match versus the winner of Brazil-Australia. Imagine if it's Brazil. If it is, it'll be a rematch of the gold medal Olympic final in 04. But Australia is expected to give Brazil a good run tomorrow. We'll have that game for you right here from Tianjin.
How about that for a run of possible 6 games? Brazil next, and then possibly Germany in the final. If you win that,
you deserve it, right?
You deserve to kiss that World Cup. You win all those. It's a tough road for the United States.
In what was called the group of death, and then here you go with England, maybe Brazil, and maybe Germany. Back for Solo. Have to win 6 games to win the World Cup, and you hope to play well at the start, but get better as the tournament goes on. Still haven't seen the USA at their best. You know, they can get it into another gear, but this has to be a good win for them tonight to advance to the semis. Being able to finish, because that was one of the problems for them so far in this World Cup. Natasha Kai is getting ready to check in for the U.S. She's not going to have much time. 86th minute now. Getting ready for the sub. And you would think it would be for Abby Wambach.
And here's the goal. Back post. Abby running through 2 players. I question the tactic England is using on those corner kicks. They zone the entire 6-yard box and only man mark on 1 player. That means you have players just running freely at you.
What kind of a day was it for Abby Wambach, who comes out? She got much closer to Kelly Smith in terms of the touches, but Wambach also scored a huge goal for the United States, and now she's replaced by Natasha Kai. And during the game, Wambach, by our count, knocked down 8 times. She plays it physical, though. She knocked down a few players, too. Into the box it goes, and it's caught by Brown.
The stat that catches my eye, 0 shots for Kelly Smith. We talked about when she would be moved up to that center forward position, and sure, she was getting a lot of touches in midfield, but I agree with Tony. She needed to go up faster into that center forward position.
We said in the first half they didn't miss Farrell Williams so far, but I think now you might think that they have missed her. She was a suspended player. That might have helped Smith move closer to the top.
I think she would have started up top if they had Farrell Williams.
Right side. England will push it on the ground. The look was for Scott. It's too far. Or rather for Sanderson, who had checked in. The U.S. just trying to finish this off, stay healthy, get ready to take on the winner of Brazil-Australia. And again, they will have the extra day of rest, with that second semifinal being next Thursday, but also because Brazil and Australia will be playing 1 day later, tomorrow. Right side of the field, U.S. will push it up over the halfway line. Space opening up into the middle. Carly Lloyd, first touch failed her, and England will take it back with Scott broken up there.
And you kept hearing Captain Christine Lilly say, we can play better than this. We can do better than we have in those first 3 games. And this will be a great sign of encouragement for the United States and a confidence boost going forward.
Faye White. Asante. Katie Chapman will switch it over. USA with a 3-0 lead here. Finishing off England, who will get knocked out for the 2nd time in their World Cup history in the quarterfinal stage. And if the scoreline stays the same, it'll be the same score that knocked them out when Germany beat them in '95. Here's a low shot, wide of a diving Hope Solo, but apparently that was deflected, so it's a corner kick for England. Their 5th. Carney on the ball. 20-year-old plays for Arsenal. In swinger, knocked down, but no shot. Cleared away by the U.S. Right at the halfway line, Asante wants to send it long again. Smith turns. Kelly Smith will push it over. Into the box it goes. U.S. denies it. It comes back out. One fake there by Yankee. To the right side it goes. The Chapman low cross. Deflected up the middle. Kelly Smith with a shot. Off the left foot too high.
First shot we've seen from Kelly Smith, and it's off a misclear from Lauren Kolupny.
What a great player she is. We didn't see her at her best today. Credit the USA for part of that, certainly, for being able to contain her.
And we talk a lot about the U.S.'s back line defensively. What we don't give the team enough credit for is their collective defense.
The entire ball was out on that sideline, so it goes to the United States. Headed for stoppage time. We'll see how much is put on. But the USA will advance once again to the semifinals. Brazil and Australia tomorrow. The USA will play that winner. Germany already advanced with their win today over North Korea. If you missed that earlier, the 3-0 score, 3 minutes added time. The U.S. clears that out. Asante. Well outside the box, toes it over. Yankee looking at crossing, that's blocked. Asante again. Yankee inside, headed once. U.S. will clear it out. Osborne brought down, tapped over by Stoney. Chapman. Yankee, low shot. Solo's got that. Hope Solo headed for another shutout. She is second all-time for the United States. Headed for her 28th. A long way to go to catch Brianna Scurry, but Hope Solo is the goalkeeper of the future for the United States. And at age 26, she's going to close that gap.
She's been so clean tonight. You look at some of the chances Rachel Brown had for England to hold on to the ball, and she's bobbling quite a few. Hope has been very clean on all her catches today.
Asante. And again, you talked about it before. The only 2 goals the USA has given up in this tournament against North Korea was when Abby Wambach was off the field getting stitched up after that head-on-head collision. And she ended up stitched up 11 stitches. USA ended up trailing, giving up 2 goals to North Korea. That's the last time that they were scored on. Foul is called on the U.S. Yankee will put it back into play. Yankee, the second half sub, moves it up for Smith, back for Yankee. 2 veterans on this team. Carney, right side, opening, sends it inside. Wide. There's a good chance, though, to cross from Carney.
What a dangerous ball. Oh, my goodness. As a keeper, you're frightened of those. Look how she whips this in, driven at the 6-yard box.
This cross inside, and the flag was up. It was a whistle anyway from the referee Palmquist, who saw a foul inside.
And for England, I think they're going to be disappointed with a 3-0 loss, because I think they probably are saying we should have had a better result here. However, the good news for them is they had a great tournament. 0-0 to the reigning world champions. Played good soccer. A lot of confidence that they can build on.
Rachel Brown's clearance goes out. U.S. touched it out. Throw in for England for Kelly Smith. Broken up there. Off Christine Lilly, fighting to the end. And that is the end. The USA, thanks to the 3 goals in the second half, will advance to the semifinals of the World Cup. Time to console some players for Hope Powell. An emotional time for these two teams. The USA will advance as they were expected to, but England put up a very good fight, especially in the first half.
And you think about all the young players England has. They will be back in 2011. Lots of young 20-year-olds. You see a good shot of Faye White, their leader in the back.
This was a gutsy effort from England coming in as underdogs. But in that first half, it looked like they were ready for what would have been the biggest upset in Women's World Cup history. That did not happen. We'll give you a look at the goals from this game. 3 goals in it. Wambach, Box, and Lilly were the goal scorers.
And just like in golf, it's about who can make the putt. You see that in soccer, who can finish their chances. And the United States, Abby Wambach with the first one. Shannon Box with the great cracker from outside. And then Christine Lilly finishing off the game for the United States.
Bracket-wise, we know that Germany is advancing. They defeated North Korea. Norway and China is coming up tomorrow. The USA has defeated England. They'll take on the winner of Brazil versus Australia. That game tomorrow here in Tianjin. And the winners of those semifinals will meet in the final that'll be played in Shanghai on September 30th. Final score tonight, USA has defeated England 3-0. They advance. England goes home.
And U.S. continuing their celebrations in Tianjin. Victorious, 3-0. They move on yet again to the semifinals of Women's World Cup play. Captain Christine Lilly with the hug there and getting off the goalless schneid as she tucked in the state's 3rd goal. One of the developing themes this tournament, strong second half play. 91 goals have been scored so far this tournament. 65 of them have come in the second half, including all 3 by the states today. We begin our highlight here in the 22nd minute, scoreless game, and Hope Solo showing some bravery. Karen Carney crosses it in. Jill Scott tries to karate chop it in, and Hope Solo gets her own player.
Here comes that karate chop, and that should be a card. It could be a red card because instead of going with her head, she just lifts her cleats up high, and luckily Lopez wasn't decapitated.
42nd minute, Abby Wambach reaches out for that one from Lilly. No luck.
And great ball in there from Lil into the space. Unlucky for Abby Wambach over the top.
1 minute later, Lilly the cracker trying to sneak one in from a tough angle.
It is a tough angle, but this is good for Christine Lilly. She's looking for goal. She took her most shots of any game today. This one is cleared by Brown.
48th minute. Abby Wambach powers this one in off the corner kick, and the U.S. starting to breathe easier, up 1-0.
How do you leave Abby Wambach free on the back post? England learned a big lesson there.
And then this one, all Shannon Box wins the tackle. Next touch is a left foot cracker, 2-0 U.S.
I love this one. Shannon Box coming up, fighting for the ball, looking like she has some space, and hitting it low to the corner.
Her 17th international goal, and then oy vey, the return of dicey goaltending. Christine Lilly makes England pay. That one sealed the deal. U.S. wins it 3-0. 6 of the state's 8 goals have come in the second half of this tournament. Abby Wambach, 81 goals in her 100th appearance, the second most goals by 100 games of a U.S. player. And Abby post-game with Jaime Mota.
Abby, 4 goals in this tournament. Take me through that first goal.
Well, we were kind of putting a lot of pressure on them in the beginning of the second half, and we just got a corner kick, and, you know, Lil's so good at putting the ball in my head. And well, I think it was a business-like first half. You know, we didn't really give too many options up. Defensively, our defense played great, and we could have finished a few. But, you know, it's just a matter of getting our groove, and I think our second half proved to us that we were the better team today. And it's giving us confidence, you know, I mean, and that's all we need right now going into the semis.
Well, after your last victory, some of the veterans were a bit upset with the way you guys were playing. How do you see the team playing going into the semifinals now?
Definitely more confident than we were coming off this last performance. But, you know, my hat goes off to Lopez. She's now officially tougher than me. She got staples on the sideline, and I only got stitches. So our younger players played really well today for us, and obviously Christine scoring that goal for us kind of solidified the win for us today.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.